The Messiah in Prophecy, Lesson 3, Daniel chapter 9. 70 weeks or 70 sevens. Sevens, sabuth, plural, literally means sevens. It is often translated weeks, 7 days in a week. It can mean a period of 7 days, Leviticus 12:5. It can mean a period of 7 years, Genesis 29:18, 27 through 28. Meaning is derived from the context, two choices, days or years. 70 weeks of years. Why years? Some hints. Hint 1. Daniel had just been thinking and praying about Jerusalem. He understood from the prophet Jeremiah that the desolation of Jerusalem would last 70 years. Jeremiah 25:11 through 12. From his prayer, we know Daniel was considering the reason behind the 70 years of punishment. The desolation came because the people had broken God's law. They had broken their covenant with God. For one thing, God required a Sabbath, rest for the land. Every 7th year, the land was to have a rest. Leviticus 25:1 through 4. Yahweh said to Moses in Mount Sinai, "Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them, when you come into the land which I give you, then the land shall keep a Sabbath to Yahweh. 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather in its fruits. But the 7th year there shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land, a Sabbath to Yahweh. You shall not sow your field or prune your vineyard." Leviticus 25:1 through 4. Otherwise, there would be a consequence. Leviticus 26, especially verses 24 through 43. "Then I will remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham, and I will remember the land. The land also will be left by them, and will enjoy its Sabbath while it lies desolate without them. And they will accept the punishment of their iniquity, because they rejected my ordinances, and their soul abhorred my statutes." For 490 years the people did not keep the Sabbath requirement. 490 years of the missing 7-year rest would require 70 years of rest for the land. 490 years divided by 7 years equals 70 years being removed from the land as punishment. Daniel knew his Bible. He was thinking in terms of multiple years. Interesting. 490 years, to be exact, 70 weeks of years, as punishment for their sin. Now there will be 490 years to put an end to sin, among other things. Daniel 9:2. "In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by the books the number of years about which the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah the prophet, for the accomplishing of the desolations of Jerusalem, even 70 years. Hint 2. In the book of Daniel, the only other time we find the use of Shabuth, sevens, is in chapter 10. In chapter 10, verses 2 and 3, Daniel clarifies the meaning by adding the word days. The 3 weeks of Daniel's mourning are weeks of days. Daniel makes that clear. Hint 3, 490 days does not allow the prophecy to be fulfilled. 490 years brings remarkable fulfillment, all pointing to the Messiah. When does the prophetic period start? It is helpful to remember that Daniel was praying and asking about the desolation of Jerusalem and his people, the Jews. The angel came to give an answer in response to Daniel's prayer, Daniel 9:23. "At the beginning of your petitions, the commandment went forth, and I am come to tell you, for you are greatly beloved. Therefore consider the matter and understand the vision. The periods start from the issuing of the decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem. The end of Lesson 3.